Why Odysseus Rejected Immortality, the choice that defines your life. Hello, I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller, and I want to ask you a question. Suppose someone offered you everything, not just wealth, not just pleasure, everything. Imagine a beautiful woman who already loves you. Imagine never growing old, never getting sick, never watching the people you love die. Imagine escaping mortality itself. Would you say no? Almost nobody would, but one man did. His name was Odysseus, and I think his decision reveals one of the greatest forgotten truths about what it means to be human. In Homer's, the goddess Calypso keeps Odysseus on her island for 7 years. She offers him comfort, pleasure, peace. Finally, she offers him immortality. Think about that. Not heaven after death, immortality. Right now, no suffering, no aging, no death. All he has to do is stay. Instead, he leaves. He chooses a dangerous voyage, a mortal wife, a mortal home, a mortal life. Why? The wrong interpretation. Most people think this story is about loyalty. I'm no longer convinced. In fact, I'd like to play devil's advocate. 7 years is a very long time. Human beings change. Desire changes. Novelty fades. Even if Penelope had never existed. Would an immortal paradise eventually become ordinary to a mortal man? Maybe. But Homer quietly tells us something fascinating. Odysseus is never happy on Calypso's island. Again and again, he sits on the shore, looking out to sea, longing for Ithaca. Not simply for Penelope, for home, for the life that belongs to him. His homesickness isn't romantic, it's existential. Calypso is us. Then something occurred to me. Maybe Calypso isn't really a woman. Maybe she's a symbol. She represents the temptation every human being eventually faces. The temptation to escape our calling, to avoid sacrifice, to avoid uncertainty, to avoid responsibility, to avoid becoming who we were meant to become. She offers comfort without purpose, pleasure without struggle, security without growth. At first glance, that sounds like paradise, but perhaps paradise has a hidden cost. Without mortality, nothing is urgent. Without sacrifice, nothing requires courage. Without limitation, there is no story. Calypso never disappeared. She simply changed forms. Today she appears as endless optionality. Another job, another relationship, another city, another identity, another version of ourselves that always seems easier than the one we're living. Social media tells us happiness is somewhere else. Advertising tells us fulfillment is one purchase away. Dating apps tell us someone better is one swipe away. Our temptation is no longer immortality, it's endless possibility. The belief that the next choice will finally complete us. This is where I think we've gone wrong. We think temptation is the problem. It isn't. Identity is the problem. Odysseus didn't refuse Calypso because Penelope was prettier. He refused because he already knew who he was. His identity came before the temptation. His direction came before the decision. When temptation arrived, there was nothing left to negotiate. Now compare that with modern life. Most people don't ask, "Who have I decided to become?" They ask, "What do I feel today?" Those are radically different questions. Feelings change. Identity shouldn't. Ask someone who they are. They'll usually tell you their profession, their politics, their accomplishments, their wounds, their preferences. Very few can answer a much deeper question. Who have I decided to become? Because until that question is answered, every attractive alternative becomes a negotiation. Every disappointment becomes an invitation to reinvent yourself. Every temptation feels reasonable. Above the entrance to the temple of Apollo at Delphi were carved 2 words, "Know thyself." Most people stop there. I think there is another question hidden inside those words, not who do I want to become someday, not who do other people want me to be, but who have I already decided to become before life tests that decision? Because life will test it, success will test it, failure will test it, money will test it, relationships will test it, temptation will absolutely test it. The modern crisis isn't that we face greater temptations than Odysseus. Human beings have always faced temptation. The real crisis is that too few of us possess an identity strong enough to order our desires before temptation arrives. Perhaps that's what Homer wanted us to understand. Odysseus didn't reject a woman. He rejected a life that wasn't his. And perhaps every one of us at some point will meet our own version of Calypso. The question won't be, what do I want? The question will be, what kind of person would choose this? Answer that question honestly. And most temptations answer themselves. If this idea resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What is the modern Calypso in your own life? And more importantly, who have you decided to become before life asks you to prove it?